Hey, how's it going, guys? So, it's been a while since I did anything Mass Effect related. I did play all three games twice and went the Paragon route and also went the Renegade route, but unfortunately, the Renegade route had some technical issues and some hardware issues. So that way, that's why you guys don't see the ending of my Renegade gameplay, but it was still a lot of fun. However, when coming across the Templin Institute, so shout out and credit goes to Templin Institute for the video. I did come across Mass Effect lore videos from him when I was like searching for more Halo and Star Wars videos, and I came across this. So I decided to take a dive back into Mass Effect and see what he has to say about that, because even though the games were a lot of fun and I did play it twice, maybe there's still some facts and some lore that I do not know, or maybe I don't understand completely, so I decided to dive into it. So we're going to be starting off with the Citadel Council. Now, I do remember the council members, and it came out to 3 council members in the beginning. It was Quarian, not Quarian, why did I say Quarian? Salarian, Asari, and Turian. There was no Quarian member and no Krogan member, and there was a human, but however it started in Mass Effect 2 because humanity proved themselves and they finally earned a seat in the council. Originally, I did put Captain Anderson as the council member, but however, overall it turned into, what's his name? Udina? Oh, Udina. Yeah, Udina became the council member, regardless of you choosing Anderson in the second one. So without anything else, let's just jump into the Citadel Council.
This investigation into the Citadel Council is brought to you by Idea Planet. They've just launched a Kickstarter that aims to bring to life a licensed replica of the Citadel itself. Stick around after this episode for more information.
Wait, a Citadel replica?
As if almost by design, every civilization to emerge upon the galactic stage will do so in a similar manner. Once the first tentative expeditions are mounted beyond the boundaries of their native worlds, their ships will uncover the mass relays, the greatest achievement of the long-extinct Protheans, through which interstellar travel is made possible. And while their explorers and pioneers will not realize it, they
there's
will have
the Normandy.
taken the first steps to entering a great galactic community, known as the Citadel Council. Officially, the Citadel Council is a supranational union, binding together a multitude of species and civilizations into a cohesive interstellar society. It possesses no formal authority over the governments of its members, but rather acts as an instrument of intergalactic law. Through various laws and conventions, it codifies the major principles of interstellar relations, from the sovereign equality of its members to prohibition on the use of force. In practical terms, however, it represents an alliance between the galaxy's major powers. For the majority of its history, this was limited to the Asari republics, the Turian hierarchy, and the Salarian Union. In 2183, however, this grew to include the Systems Alliance. While numerous other civilizations have been granted associate member status, only these 4 primary nations have the authority to pass Citadel laws. Associate members may bring issues to the attention of the Council and lobby for certain proposals, but ultimately have no input on the decision. Regardless, all associate members are bound to the Council's decisions so long as they remain so. Associate members are often seen as on the path to full membership, but this process is nebulous and reliant on the discretion of the Council. The Citadel Council's eponymous chief executive body is composed of a single councillor appointed by each of its individual members. These individuals act as mutual heads of state and provide a public face for the organization, but the council consists of a much larger administration and bureaucratic apparatus. Various departments, committees, and agencies exist dedicated to every facet of galactic civilization,
and they can anoint the
paleotechnology to emergency services. Both the Council and its supportive institutions are based on a colossal deep space station that serves as the Council's capital, and from which it takes its name. Jointly shared by each member race, it is one of the few places in the galaxy directly administered by the Council without any local government. The station is home to representatives of member races, ambassadors from associate members, and millions of galactic citizens. Citadel Security Services, more commonly known as CSEC, is one of the largest
CSEC.
council institutions and tasked.
And CSEC is also comprised of mostly Turians because they have like a natural sense of like law enforcement. But I do remember this. I forgot what those like small little I'm sorry for using this word, chubby alien species. I forgot what those species were called, but also it came to mind that Batarians did not have a seat in the council as well. And I do remember reading from the Codex that the Asari were the very first members for like the oldest species because they can live a long time, and they were the first council member for the Citadel Council. And I may get this wrong. I think the second one was the Solarians, and then the third one was Turians, and the fourth one was finally humans, which we saw in the video game. And basically, so even though it's like a harmony of multiple species, only a few of those species have been chosen to dictate and govern laws. So I find that really interesting. And on top of that, I wonder if maybe, because I know there's supposed to be like a Mass Effect 4, because we saw the teaser and all that. I wonder if it's going to show like the evolution of the Citadel Council. Maybe there's more seats, more representatives, things like that. But seeing how they said that it's been going like that for hundreds of years, and where it was only like 3 members, and then like after a few hundred years, now they added a 4th member, which is humanity. It may take a little longer, unless some of the other species does something heroic, like save the Citadel, like we did. But anyways, let's keep going.
With maintaining public order on the station. Its roughly 200,000 officers provide security, customs enforcement, search and rescue
200,000
operations, and piracy suppression, both on the Citadel itself and the surrounding region.
But then again, the Citadel is huge.
While neither the Council or CSEC operate an interstellar navy, the Citadel is continuously patrolled by a dedicated Citadel fleet. This force is made up of warships drawn from each of its member nations, with Turian vessels in particular making up the bulk of the armada. Assignment to the formation is regarded as particularly prestigious, and usually...
I remember the Turian has like the largest military in the galaxy. I don't know if it was the strongest. I think it was also the strongest, but it had the largest military in the galaxy. I remember that in Mass Effect 3 when we were trying to find the Primarch and we ran into Garrus. But the thing is, that's why they were able to hold out so long against the Reapers, because they had the numbers and the strength. And I remember when they were added to our Alliance support resources, that bar jumped. So I remember like how Turians are like really big on law enforcement and military.
Includes vessels with elite crews, or the flagships of a member's respective navy. The Destiny Ascension, flagship of the Asari Republics, was one such vessel, and estimated to have equaled the firepower of the rest of the Asari fleet combined.
That was crazy.
Fleet is rarely deployed away from the Citadel or outside Citadel space, but has occasionally been used to assist in the peacekeeping operations of its members when requested by the Council.
This is still the most epic scene I've ever seen in gaming.
With the exception of the Council Demilitarization Enforcement Mission, which oversees the Krogan Demilitarized Zone. The Citadel Fleet and CSEC are critical resources in maintaining galactic stability, but are typically reactive in nature. Instead, it is the special tactics and reconnaissance agents, known as Spectres, that actively seek out potential threats.
I forgot his name.
Operate under no formal command structure, answering only to the Council, and granted the authority to take whatever measures they deem appropriate. Its members are drawn from the most elite military units of the Council's member nations. Their service histories are classified, only disclosed to the public after a set amount of time. The Council has existed for over 2.5 millennia, first proposed by the Asari to facilitate a partnership with the Solarians after both independently discovered the Citadel. Its founding marks the beginning of the Galactic Standard Calendar, Year 0 GS. Rapid growth was achieved in the ensuing centuries, and first contact was made with dozens of species who would go on to earn associate membership. Both the Rachni Wars and subsequent Krogan rebellions threatened to destabilize the Council's authority, each the result of highly aggressive and expansionist species entering the galactic community. The latter crisis was ultimately ended by the Turian hierarchy, earning them a seat on the Council. but the methods by which they achieved this victory created a lasting enmity that has endured into the modern era. With the Asari assuming the role of diplomats and negotiators, the Solarians' affinity for intelligence gathering, and the Turians' aptitude for peacekeeping, the galaxy entered a renewed age of peaceful development.
Oh yeah, I
The
remember
Geth
those
War
clubs.
was the largest incident of this era, notable for the Council's refusal to aid the Quarians in their struggle against an artificial intelligence of their own creation.
The Geth.
Development into AI was outlawed following the war, and the Quarian status as associate members was revoked. The
Oh,
accelerated
so that's why the Quarians. That's why the Quarians did not get a seat on the council, because of the creation of the Geth. Well, it makes sense. I mean, they pretty much created like a massive rogue army that is a huge threat. But I mean, like, even if they said, yeah, that you know what, that would explain a lot. So the Quarians were not given a seat because of the creation of the Geth. The Krogans were not given a seat because of the massive, what was it, the rebellions and things like that, and they tried to create an empire. I forgot why the Batarians never got a seat. But the Krogans were still honored because, you know, they have a massive statue in the Citadel. I still remember that, and I still remember what's his name, Grunt, and like other Krogans just partying, and they were on top of that statue. That was great. But anyway, let's continue.
expansion of human civilization across the galaxy and their equally swift integration into Citadel society marked a new era in the history of the Council. Humanity's appointment to full members after only 26 years was unprecedented and seen by many elder races as reckless, preferential treatment.
After 26 years.
The Systems Alliance seat on the Council was granted largely as a result of their actions during the Battle of the Citadel, in which a force of Geth warships devastated the Citadel fleet.
Hey,
and
humanity
attempted an
proved
invasion
themselves.
of the station. The intervention of the Alliance forces successfully routed the Geth, repelling the first armed attack on the Citadel in modern history. Yet, according to some reports, the attack was orchestrated by a so-called Reaper, a member of an
Sovereign.
immortal race of sentient starships allegedly waiting in dark space. But the Citadel Council has dismissed such claims.
This episode is brought to you by
I gotta
Idea
look-
Planet.
Yeah, I want to see
If
this.
you've ever wanted to give the Reapers a clandestine entry point into your home through which they can destroy galactic civilization, you're in luck. A Kickstarter has just been launched today that aims to produce a high-quality, authentically detailed model of the Citadel. It's perfect for facilitating galactic trade, hosting dignitaries, or ignoring galactic threats until it's nearly too late. Idea Planet has been behind some of the best merchandise from your favorite alternate worlds.
Oh, nice.
BioShock, Fallout, Halo, Destiny, Far Cry, really the list goes on, and the quality is always spectacular. So, if you'd like to get a model of the Citadel, you'll find a link to the Kickstarter in the description.
I gotta look at this. That was a really great video about the Citadel Council. I mean, some of it was, I already did know about, you know, the Asari, the Solarians, and the Turians being the three council members, and then humans joining shortly after because of their actions at the end of Mass Effect 1, saving the Citadel from Sovereign. But I say the one thing I really did learn here was the Quarians. Why they never got a seat on the council was because of the creation of Geth, and that's what like caused a huge obstacle why they never got a seat. But I still don't know why the Batarians never got a seat. Is it because they're like pirates and things like that? Because every time we faced the Batarians, they were always like raiders and bandits and pirates. The Krogan was easy because of the rebellion, and you know, all three species, the Asari, Solarians, and Turians, literally went against them. So I wouldn't be. It's not a surprise that it was a unanimous decision to keep the Krogan away from the Citadel Council. But either way, this was a really great video, and I gotta take a look at the sponsor he mentioned at the end, Idea Planet, because if there is a way to get like a model of the Citadel, I would get it, but not right now. Maybe when I get like a more permanent home. So like so many things I am like literally saving right now. So when I get a more permanent home, I could get like models and have things in like the background like many other YouTubers have. So that way it looks a lot better. But anyways, that's all I got for today. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. And if you guys have any other like facts or lore or anything Templin Institute did not mention about the Citadel Council, please put down in the comments below. I really would appreciate it. Shout out to all my members, subscribers, viewers. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I really do appreciate that as well. So with anything else, I'll see you guys next time.